Hello. I'm just sitting outside and went for a walk with Bailey. It's really nice. There's a little lake. You can see it that we live on. It's quite warm. It was cold. Now it's warm. I don't know. Anyways, what I want to talk about is living an unconventional life, 50 plus. I led one in my 40s also. So it's deciding to. I'm in these Facebook groups for women over 50, and one lady posted that she was really good. She was really honest. And she says, you know what? I find myself judging women over 50 who don't own their own property. Like single women, right? Or maybe even married. I don't know. Thinking, she goes, I know that's wrong. But I think like, oh my God, I would not feel safe or secure if I didn't own my own property. And I was over 50. So that's what her post was about. And I remember going, oh my God, that's so true, right? We all have our own sense of what makes us feel safe and secure. And because of our age and because of the way society was when we were growing up and what we heard from our parents, right, very much was get a really good paying job, get a good husband, own a home, really safe and stable, right? And I always thought, oh my God, that's boring. Like I want to live my life while I was young. So that's really what I've done. I've traveled since the age of 17 and I've been so many places in the world. It's unreal. I've had an absolutely amazing life. Done everything, so many things I've wanted to do, basically almost everything. I'm just at a weird point now. It's like, I don't even, what do I want? But anyways, so I chose to live an unconventional life. But some people say to me, oh my God, Diana, I don't know how you can do it. I've owned 3 properties. So it's not like I haven't owned properties. I've sold them. They actually made me feel tied down. They didn't make me feel free at all. With not owning anything actually makes me feel free. So I feel kind of more safe and secure not owning property. I know that's really weird, but we're all different. And I want you to know that, right? Like we need to break these stereotypes and we need to break the conditioning and programming that women our age were raised with. Hello, who's ever jumped on? Hello. I'm outside. I really can't see much. We need to really like honor ourselves and say, you know what? If you're not going to start living a life you love now, when? If you're 50 plus, start now. Because when are you going to do it? Right? And often it's like, well, I've heard, I do work with women, but I used to hold workshops with women, dealing with the midlife phase and stuff. And what I'd hear sometimes is, oh, I'm just so busy. I don't have time to make a healthy meal. I work and then I got all this yard work and then I got all my housework. So on the weekends, I'm just busy and I'm feeling exhausted and my body's changing and all these things. And I'm like, I said to one lady in the workshop, because I was just hearing so much of this, right? And I'm sitting there, at the workshop going, in my head, well, you've done that to yourself. Like you've chosen that life. So you've put that over health. And it really catches up with us, right? Like our health catches up with us if we don't have it as a priority. Often we don't as we're younger. Totally, many people don't. But the thing is that I said to her, well, sell your house. They had quite a lot of land, where like more than an acre, whatever. And they had to mow and manicure it, that type of thing. And a big home. Their kids had left home, so they still had this bigger home. And she was just like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, sell your home. And she looked at me like terror, almost like, how dare you say that? How can I sell my home? What would we do? Like without a home? What are you talking about? Right? And I'm thinking, well, why? We get so attached, but that's okay if that's what brings you joy and you're really happy and you love your home and it makes you feel free. It makes you feel safe. You love it and you love gardening and you love doing all those things. That's great. So you got to decide what's really important to you, what makes you really happy, and don't be afraid to go beyond what's normal. Don't be afraid to say, well, at one time I believed I needed these things to be safe, feel secure, or to be happy, but I'm realizing that at this phase of my life, they're not things that I need, or it's all too much for me, and I don't want to do it anymore. It's dragging me down. It's exhausting me. I want freedom at this phase of my life. I want to do things that I enjoy. I want more time for me. I want more money for me, right? I know rent's really expensive right now, so I'm definitely talking in general, not right now. It is a tough time because rent is so high. So if you own a home and your mortgage is really low, then, right, you have definitely more options. You can rent rooms, you can rent the basement, you can do whatever, right? But I mean, just talking about living an unconventional life, right? The way we were raised or the way that society thinks we should be, or it doesn't matter because the people you hang around with, your friends and family and stuff may see, like my friends and family are definitely more conventional, own homes, live in, have a really steady job. So I've kind of been the one that's been like off the wall, and it can feel so like people, oh my God, you're so brave. I don't know how you can live like that. I could never live like that. I could never live with such uncertainty. I'd be scared. I'd be fearful. But I'm not any of those things. I'd be more scared of living a life I don't love. Like my biggest fear, and I've lived an amazing life, so it doesn't really apply anymore. I've done everything. Is getting to the end of your life and going, oh my God, I didn't do what I wanted to do. Why did I waste time? Why did I think I needed to be so safe? Why did I think I need to hold on to that home for so many years? Why did I think I needed to work until I dropped? I never got to enjoy life, right? That was never going to be me. And I made that decision. And right now in my life, like, I'm like, well, I got to start doing more of what I really love. So I'm changing my business just a little bit, talking about more of the things, which is what I'm talking about right now. Helping women really live a life they love. Health-wise too, of course. Like, it is time to take care of you, your health. It is time to say yes to the things you want to do. It is time to say no, no, and no to things that you don't want, to things that bog you down, to things that make you feel exhausted. That could be relationships. That could be material things. I've never been scared to let go of material things. Before I moved to Bali in 2018-19, like I lived there for 9 months. I gave away everything. Okay, too much. Yes, I gave away too much. But you know what? It's like, they're just things. The experience was so worth it. It taught me so much. So just look, are you attached to things? Are you attached to relationships that don't really make you happy, but you're just so fearful of what your life would be if you let them go? And I think that's the biggest thing, is people are really afraid of what would my life be if I let that go. Uncertainty. Well, we get to create our lives. You created your life the way it is now. You have way more control than you think. And we get to be conscious creators, right? So we get to say, I'm choosing this for my life, and I'm going to work towards this in my life. So you're making your future the way you want it. It's not like you're standing at an edge of the cliff and you're going to jump and you don't even know if there's a net there. That's what's fearful. But we need to believe and know now that we create. So I'm going to choose this in my life, and I'm going to work toward it. And you've always done it in the past. You've handled everything that came up in the past. You've handled changing jobs. You've handled changing relationships. You handled this and you handled that. You can handle anything. You're very, very strong, right? Very strong and resilient. So if there's something that you're like, oh my God, I wish I could, or I wish I didn't have this. If I didn't have this, I would. Those are things to start looking at. Those are things to start looking at. Start living now. If not now, when? Right? Remember, this is a saying I say at the end of my posts. This is your life. Start living it. All right. So much love to you. Talk to you later. Bye.